Okay, back with another little stream. I go ahead and check my sound here. I always start to talking, then I think, oh, I better check my sound first. So, I noticed something. I went ahead and soaked my last video today about this last night. Now it's morning. It's 8:24 in the morning. I was looking at the wrong thing. Looking at the 73.6 degrees and 8:23 in the morning. 24 in the morning. Anyway, I have some of my parts, my leftover parts over here in my little manual. I noticed. Let's see, which one is it? Let's do this. We're gonna do. There we go. Okay, now there's my little manual and my little part. Now let me switch to the wireless mic and I'll go over there. Okay, yeah. Now let's check the sound again before I take off. Went ahead and left my preview playing this time so I'd be able to do that. And check the sound again. Okay. I got the window. Well, I opened the window last night, but anyway, now I feel the allergies getting to me. But this part here, I could, it wouldn't fit in there at all, and I couldn't even tell that it was tapered. But I did finally figure out that it's tapered, but that wasn't the thing. What I did was use the old one because it was bigger and it would fit in there. But the reason it wouldn't fit in there. That's quite silly. It's kind of humorous. As silly as my mistake was, but get this drawing up here. I didn't pay a heck of a lot of attention to it. I know what I did. I went by the old one. I just replaced it the way the old one was. That right there, the hexagon nut goes down here, and the tapered. They're both plastic. Well, that hexagon might be. They said that it's going to have brass metal. It said it had brass nuts in the description, but I don't think either one of them. Maybe that hexagon one is, but this one's plastic for sure. But it's the tapered one, and it goes on the wand, the shower head wand, and that's the one that'll go in there. I went up there and stuck this on it. I've got it. See, I've got it up here. And that's the way I had done the other one. And I think the reason I did it, I think the other one must have already been too big and too loose. And then what I did was I swapped them. I don't remember. I'm just kind of guessing by what I've seen. And then I had to, either that or I made the same mistake, but I fixed it by, anyway, the other one is a whole lot bigger. I mean, that note won't even try to go into either end of this. All I remember, I mean, I can see where I showed it on the video. You probably could see it. I'm not sure. I didn't look at that part. I did kind of go back through it. But anyway, that other one is so much bigger that the nut will, it will go in there and stay. When you turn the water on, it'll kind of move a little bit, it'll kind of give it that. But other than that, it's fine. And I'm getting really, really tired now. I've been fiddling around with this stuff all night long. I soaked, so I'm not going to I was going to swap it right now, but I decided not to. I've got messing around trying to see. I have to hold this paper. You can see how much of an angle I have to hold it. I tried for probably 30 minutes or more, way too long, trying to get it so it'd be like that, so it'd be straight to me the way I'm sitting. And the thing is, you got to twist this cable here to get it straight. That's not too hard, except for you got all that cable fighting you. And it's about a 15-foot cable, and I've got it to keep it from just going all over the place. First couple of times I used it, I just let it all lay out all over the place, and it'd hit things and do this and do that, and it just fought me. Everything where I moved it to, it'd go back where it wanted to go. It was even worse than it is right now. So I got it coiled around the end of my mic stand up at the top, and that's the screw, the adjustment. What is that? Wider slot opening up. I still, that's the screw where you take that this off, on and off. And this one has a little plastic insert. It's over there in the bag right now, but well, it actually goes down in that side, and the screw will just drop right through without it. So don't lose that. There it is in the bag. And the other screw there, that's the longer one that was in my old one. So I'm just going to put them back like they were, I think. Unless, of course, I just find out that it doesn't work well. Then I'm, But anyway, so it might take me a little while to figure it out, get the way I want it. So I decided I won't do that tonight. It's tonight for me, but it's morning for the rest of the world. But yeah, and I'm going to have to hang on to this box and these parts because I'm going to just leave the old parts and the new ones in there. But that is a brand new washer that I could end up needing. And that's some, that stuff there, that Teflon tape. I wish you could always stick it somewhere like in the, I'm going to leave it in there for now. It might be a good thing to just stick in the house or something. I don't have any in the house. Well, not in here anyway. In my room, I could stick it in my little toolbox if I wanted to. But one of the things I wanted to show is how it turned out. It's still kind of wet. I just stuck them in the bag wet. I figured they'd dry out eventually. I didn't want to get the box all sopping wet, so I just stuck them in the bags. Still pretty wet. I did wipe them and I drained them for quite a while. But I thought I would show. Let's go ahead and, let's just pull this back up some. There. There we go. Surprisingly good job of cleaning. Soaking it in that CLR. I soaked it about 30, 45 minutes. I don't know. It could have been an hour. I've used it before, and I knew 2 minutes wasn't going to do jack. Now, this thing didn't clean up perfectly. I scrubbed on. This didn't really need any scrubbing. I used a toothbrush and got pretty much everything off of this part. It's all slick. It's that plastic chrome, that fake plastic chrome stuff. It's actually not bad. It's fairly durable, surprisingly. I saw videos lately about how to do that. There's just this paint stuff you can use. Guy was evidently an expert painter. He paints and decorates motorcycle helmets and stuff, and he's showing how to use some that's out right now that he thought was real good. And so I realized, well, that's what they've been doing to all these parts for all these years, And it does. It looks like real chrome when it's new. It's very hard to tell. And I don't know if you can see but it was all, I guess I got rid of the green. A bunch of this turned green. I thought, is that brass? It said don't use it on brass. And there is some parts on this original set here that looked like brass. But I'm beginning to find out they were just coated with something that looked like brass. So I guess I should, I'm using two previews, the one on the laptop and the one on my machine, and the laptop one's way behind the other one. But I think I'll have that set to the stream to cache about 30 seconds before it goes up to the internet. I think maybe I'm going to try changing that. That wasn't defaulted like that, and it might be capable of working fine not done like that. But I mean, that thing looked nasty, all covered, and you couldn't scrape it off, without scratching the living heck out of this. If you just took something, I mean, I don't know. I've tried cleaning stuff. When they get that calcium deposits, that stuff, this is not metal, it's plastic. Wait a minute. It sounds like metal when you tap it. Could have been wrong. That could be a thin metal. But it looks like plastic up here where, no, it's plastic. It just, I don't know why it sounds like metal. But this is, so you can see that it's plastic where it came all the way off right here. Where that chrome, fake chrome came off. And see that, now some of that old rust from the water didn't come out. That's all right. I mean, it's old. But, And anyway, I took some Scotch-Brite and scrubbed it after I used the toothbrush. I wanted to make sure I didn't mess it up or anything. And then the stuff that were, and like I was talking about the green looking stuff, and see, I couldn't really get to some of it there, but it doesn't really look like right there. I think that's already where it's maybe come off. Yeah, there's nothing sticking up there. Can't feel that with my. So that's where that coating has come off, but I figured it was just a gold. Well, that stuff I saw that guy on the video recently. There's different colors. There's gold. The two main colors is gold and silver. Shiny, really, really shiny. So that's all. I think that's all that was. And now why it turned green, I don't know. But I guess I got pretty much all the green off. But then where it's come off of there, that's what's. I just don't see real good anymore. And of course, with it wet, it was kind of harder to tell. And I had my little magnifying glass, and I was using it, but I still couldn't see too good in there. And it wasn't. I guess it wasn't bright enough at night in the kitchen too, even with the light, all the lights on. But it cleaned. Now this part is metal and it's chrome. Well, it might not be real chrome. Well, I don't know. Maybe in China they're still allowed to chrome plate stuff. But I found out in the last few years, I didn't even realize it. You can't hardly find a place that does chrome plating. Matter of fact, I don't know if there's any places that do real chrome plating in America anymore because they made EPA laws against it. Either they made it, so strict that it's too expensive to get it done. That's what I saw. Actually, I saw it on. I like to watch Roadkill Hot Rod Magazine's one of their car show, the only one that's really good. I like. Anyway, they were always talking about that. Of course, they say that about you can't get things sometimes, and they live in California. There's a lot of things they can't get that are really common here in Texas. But I haven't seen. I knew the last time I looked up chrome plating about 15 or 20 years ago. It was really, really expensive getting it done. It used to didn't cost all that much, and it was kind of hard. But this side, hard to find somebody to do it. And I don't know. I haven't tried. But that's what they were saying, is that you can't hardly get it done, and if you do, it's really, really expensive. But this here, I rubbed the heck out of that forever, and this had a gold. It was all gold, the whole thing, and it still looked gold. It just looked crappy. Like, see these spots that are crappy? Well, they looked crappy, and I was wanting to get rid of them. The more I scrubbed, the more I started realizing that's plastic, and it's peeling off. And so it was just a plastic coating. It wasn't like this stuff. I've had this come off before on some poorer done plastic fake chrome, and it flakes off like paint chips. This was plastic. It was flexible little sheets of plastic. So that's what made that look all gold. Now it really looked nicer before I fixed it, to be honest. It just had some bad spots. Now it's kind of all, of course, I mean, at a distance it doesn't look as bad as it does there up close up, but and of course with it aiming down you don't really see it, but the rest of the thing overall, it's just like, I can't believe it's like 80% improvement, I guess I'd say, or something like that. I don't know, or it's 80% towards good. I don't know, but I didn't think it would come out that good. So, but it is very worn. This comes apart right here, and if I can get it, oh yeah, let's see. Comes apart right there, and see, that's all full of rusty, but it is plastic, so it's not corroded. And of course, plastic gets old and just cracks and breaks is what happens. It doesn't corrode like. And that's a metal that still won't move. That's probably rusted. Well, I can see the rust right there. So that's rusted, and I wouldn't force it. And there's a rubber gasket in there that is, I'm surprised it didn't squirt like crazy at the bottom. Maybe it didn't, I hadn't noticed. And it's rubber, and I touched it, and it makes your fingers black. But I didn't have it apart, until after. I doubt it would have came apart until after I soaked it in that CLR. But I had to remember, once I saw that it, once I got to looking at it, oh yeah, that thing's supposed to come apart. And so, it would work. It'll still work, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. I was trying to run water through it, in the faucet to rinse it out. because I figured there was junk inside that might have gotten dissolved, and it didn't want to. Water didn't really want to go through it. But this wouldn't hardly move at all. You can adjust it now. But I don't think it adjusts as good as it used to. I saw it moving a whole lot more. I don't know. It's not, that thing moved in and out a lot. The first couple of times I turned it, and now it doesn't move as much. So it's just about, it's on its last legs anyway. So if that other one puts out enough, it seemed like it had a nice looking stream, and it felt okay to my hand, the new one. So if it's okay, I'm just going to leave it and use it. It looks nice, you know. This one used to look really nice when it was new, with the gold here and gold there. And we had, you know, the faucet handle has gold accents, and the faucet, the spigot that lets the water out to fill the tub, it had gold accents. Well, I found it out in the garage when I was looking for some stuff last night. So then I was like, oh yeah, well I knew we replaced it, but I just wasn't thinking about it. But it had gotten real ugly, and so we replaced it. And I could have made it look okay. There's some of that Teflon tape, so that it finally come off. Now here's the diverter, and this is where I took off the. That one has a spinning thing in it. I don't know why that spins like that. Oh, I guess that's so that you can. I mean, I don't see how you can get the screw to tighten up in it. Is what I'm thinking. But see, there's the stops for the hanger. It only goes so far. But that cleaned up. I soaked this one too, you know. And it cleaned up pretty darn nice. That's that stuff coming out of there's Teflon tape. But it runs freely, good, and everything. But this, I think it turns a little better now. Yeah, it does. It was turned okay, but it was not super easy to turn. Turns about as easy as that new one. I thought it seemed like the new one turned a lot easier. So this stuff is still quite useful. What did I put in? Oh, I put one of those one of those washers out of this one in there. I always save my bottles and use them for screws and parts and things. So, yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's the end that's screwed up on the pipe, I think. Yeah. And see, this one, the whole thing would just do that on you. It was not, it was actually made that way. It was, I don't know, I think maybe when it was new it was a little tighter or something, but, oh wait, no. No, it doesn't ever tighten up. It always spins. So that was kind of aggravating, because when you'd hang the deal up, it would always want to cock sideways on you, you know. And it was getting worse and worse. So I wasn't at all, that's why I was kind of glad to just replace it all. I'm going to leave them loose in those bags so they can dry over time here. But I will also I just now realized I put some of the smallest things in the biggest bag. I think what I'll do, a lot of times I do that and it makes them really last a long time. I'll put the instructions, not now because it's wet, but later, after it's dry, I'll put those instructions in that bag and just keep it all in that box. I was going to put this out on the table for everybody to read, learn how to, okay. My mom likes to read those papers and things that come with stuff to see how to use it. She can't look at something and figure out how to use it, but she can read instructions and understand them. I actually obviously have more trouble with instructions. I always have. I never liked to read them. I could figure things out without them. And I could have. It was good that I read overall. There's something about the dribbling right there. Is that in English? I don't think that's in English though. But it shows the dribbling that was happening there. Oh, that's the wrong. I know they, some people in the reviews had complained about that. I thought everything else was, oh, I pulled that way up. Go too close and you won't be able to. Yeah, that's a different language. Right there, see the picture of it dribbling? That's English. To save water while lathering and shampooing, dial to pause, shut-off mode. For your safety, to prevent pressure buildup, pause mode has a water dripping instead of complete shut-off. After use, do not leave dial set to pause mode. Why not? That's kind of stupid. I mean, I've had, well, you know, a long time ago, you used to have those little shower heads you could stick over the spigot, the bathtub spigot. They were just all rubber. And of course, they'd always come off right while you were really involved in using them, while you had soap in your eyes and stuff, you know. And so, but water, you remember the, I guess, well, you don't remember unless you're old like me, but Waterpik, I guess, yeah, Waterpik, which made toothbrushes, you know, what electric toothbrushes, and the original Waterpik electric toothbrush they were the one that kind of made these things popular, these type like this. And well, the original one that I had one. The original one you replaced and they still have them like that. They only had the wand that you would replace your whole shower head with, and then it would have to sit on the hanger, you know. Well, it was kind of good in my shower because it made my shower a little taller, because I had a mobile home back then, lived out in the country in a mobile home, and it wasn't tall enough at all. I always had to scrunch my knees to get under the shower, you know. And so let's see what the rest of these instructions say. Let's go back and get an order. I didn't realize that there was a whole nother section to it. I'm trying to figure out. I read pretty much all the first page. What's that say? The light's all different. I had the light all good and everything, and now, oh, the sun came up, and I had to shut my curtain, but I can turn off the light on this USB thing. That might be better. I'll turn it all the way off. I couldn't see any difference there, but I guess I'm not close enough for some of the letters, and I'm too close for others. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the focus. It appears that you're missing washers or other parts, or have defective part. Call the customer care for free replacements. Sent you within 24 hours. Oh, okay. That just needs to be down a little lower then. Now, that might work. Okay. Change the water flow, turn the inverter to 90 degrees. Yeah, I figured all that part out. That's the angle of the shower. Dial lever to select it as our pattern. Of course, I haven't used it yet. I just kind of turned it on for a little bit, and that's all. 4 full or 2 combination settings. It says something kind of odd there. Well, probably already read it if you're looking at it. Huh. When turning, oh, I didn't read the whole sentence, that's why I was skipping around, kind of skimming. When turning the shower head dial, we recommend that you hold the shower head with one free hand to prevent accidental loosening of the diverter connection. Oh, they're talking about the main shower head. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, but it's not that hard to turn, but as it gets older, it might get harder to turn. Save water and then to save water while shampooing, of course, that's assuming you're only using the one head. You can do it either one, the other, or both. That's what the valve does up on the shower head, the main diverter, the diverter valve. Dial over to pause, shove, and then I read that a while ago about the pause thing. So that's funny because people really complained a lot about that dripping, and they didn't seem to notice. They hadn't read the instructions either. They didn't notice that that's actually, they call it a feature. That's not a fault, that's a feature. That's not sloppy manufacturing, that's a feature. Okay, it's for your safety. On top of everything else, it's for your safety. Yeah, I remember I had, maybe my water pick one did that. It had a hand switch. I think it had one you could squeeze or something. And yeah, I think it had a trigger type thing you could squeeze. And when you'd squeeze it, if it had been on for a while and get building up pressure, it would kind of jump. And if your hands are soapy, heck, it might even, I don't know, it tried to jump out of your hands. I don't know if it ever did, but maybe it did once or twice. But I remember that now that I think about it. But it's not like a big deal. Just a piece of plastic. Yeah, with two, and of course with two, I knew this because of my other one. If you have them both on at the same time, you lose lots of pressure. You're not going to get much pressure that way. So, that's just more volume, just how it works. Use them individually, and I plan on leaving them both on, because my mom can't reach that. She can't turn that diverter. I'm sure she won't be able to turn this new one any better than the old one. That's why she never used it. So I plan on leaving them both on, and then she can just grab the hand one and use it by just turning it on up there. Now, if that gets to be aggravating or if she ends up not using it much, maybe I'll go back to using the diverter. The other one, I always just used the diverter to do whatever it is I wanted to do, one or both or whatever. Usually I used one or the other. I didn't really use both because of the loss of pressure. Let's see, I kind of tracked off from what I was reading. Says it has a water flow regulator that limits maximum water flow to 2.5 gallons, 9 liters per minute, 80 psi water pressure when both showers work together or independently. Oh, okay. Maintain it, okay. Dump it in CLR and then rinse it out. Oh, it didn't say that. Clean flexible nozzles by rubbing with the finger. Soft bristle toothbrush. Oh, soak 50% white vinegar and 50% water. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think I was going to say soak it in anything. Build up residue and minerals. Yeah. Remove flow regulator, figure 7. Oh, okay. There we go. Ah. And where is that? Oh, it's up in the top. Oh, that's in the, let's see. Is that where the shower head goes? The regular shower head? Okay. I think I read that somebody took it out, theirs out, and left it out because it didn't have enough pressure, and then they were fine after that. I mean, you're not going to get that much pressure unless you got a heck of a city water system, or you got a pump of your own and you turn that way up. Do not use harsh chemical. soak in white vinegar for 1/2 hour. Do not use harsh chemicals, probably like CLR. Well, I definitely wouldn't leave it in CLR too long. Matter of fact, I've got some more. I didn't get to that part yet. I was talking about my faucet that drove me crazy. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can get that thing. I just grabbed it. I haven't tried to take that thing off of there. It was like it was glued on. It would not come off. I've never seen one like that ever. And yeah, harsh chemicals will damage. And there's their phone number. Please do not return this product without calling first. Oh yeah, to them. Limited lifetime warranty. I didn't really. Repair or replace the project that. I'll go back to my faucet in a minute. Send only the defective parts with proof of purpose. I can't even talk. I'm getting tired. Proof of purchase. Does not cover. They're all saying that now from unauthorized distributors. So if you buy it through Amazon, and this is happening to people a lot, you know, because some small time people, small home, what do they call them? Small home businesses, stuff like that, are buying and selling stuff, and they're not an authorized reseller, and they'll sell on Amazon, and people, you know, people used to know Amazon's one of the biggest companies in the world. They expect to, you know, yeah, the warranty will be good. Well, it depends on who you buy it through, you know. If you don't buy it through them, if they're selling it, well, I would think they would be authorized reseller because they sell enough quantity to get to be one, you know. But a small time seller, they're probably not going to be authorized reseller. And of course, some people are even unscrupulous and they're selling used stuff as new and things like that too. So there's something on the manufacturer side they have to watch out for too, things like that. So there you go. But yeah, I've seen it a lot on things like hard drives and things I would have never expected, you know, like things for computers and stuff. But yeah, that one in the middle there, that's the flow regulator, and basically same thing. I got that aerator out the faucet. I just gave it a little twist and it came loose. And I've tried it before with, did I try it with pliers? I think I did. And I didn't want to scratch it up because it was brand new. I mean, we've had it for several years now, and I've just never messed with it anymore in a long time. I think, I know I tried really, really hard. I got it dry and got where my hands could stick to it, and I couldn't get it loose. I don't know if I ever tried it with pliers and kept thinking I would get pliers and a paper towel or a cloth or something and try to grip it without scratching it. But I knew I'd probably scratch it. But I got to where I hated it so bad I didn't care anymore as much. But it just came off with my bare hands. And it's got an aerator, and then I guess it's a flow regulator. And it's just a little plastic thing with smaller holes. I compared it to an old one that I had out in the garage. I had one that would adjust just like, you know, like this faucet head would do, you know. I mean, this shower head would do before it got old and rusted up. But that's what it has in there, and I cleaned it. It was full of, you know, kinds of stuff, and actually that little aerator was full of this black stuff that didn't seem to be hard. Like usually it's just little things that are like pebbles and pieces, little tiny pebbles and sand, you know, big sand, whichever way you want to look at it. Usually that's in pieces of rust from pipes, you know, is in them. But this had some kind of black stuff that looked kind of stringy coming out of it. And so I took it completely out, and I wanted to see what it would do anyway. First I stuck our old one on there, and I got the one that adjusts, and it was better pressure, and it's adjustable. You can do from a spray to a stream, you know, and all that. But it was full of it had never been soaked in CLR or anything, so it had stuff that I couldn't get to rinse out, rusty looking stuff in it. It didn't have any of that stringy black stuff in it, but there was some stringy black stuff in the one. I'm not talking about the shower. I'm talking about my kitchen faucet now. I'm just using that as an example. I'll get it off of there. And I don't have anything to show. All that stuff is out there in the CLR right now. Well, let's go back to it because it's all I got. But that little, so that's what they call them, flow regulators. That flow regulator has been out there in CLR for probably better than part of an hour, hour and a half now. Oh, well, maybe wait. It's not going to hurt. I mean, if it does hurt that stuff, I don't care. But that thing is what I was talking about. That's what they did. I wasn't ever sure if they made them actually change the valve sizes, you know, the valve tubing in the valve, the ports and the valves of faucets. That's what they did. I figured they did something like that. And it's just another strainer. That's what we used to call them, a strainer. There's an actual wire strainer in the old one. Instead of a flow regulator like this, it's plastic with tiny holes in it. That's what we're trying to get at. The other one, it has an aerator. It looks kind of like that, but it's bigger holes. And then that's a flow regulator now, I know. And two of them in there, two plastic. Well, the other one, the older one that was adjustable off our old faucet that we liked a lot, it has a flow aerator, and then it just has a screen piece of, it's like screen, really heavy screen wire, like, you know, like a window screen. Even heavier than the old-timey wooden window screen wire. Well, about like that. And it's real nicely rounded and fits in there well. And then the actual washer, like this here, it's molded into it. So in that one, and I've seen them for many, many years. It's a screen wire and a washer combination. This just has the washer, the one that I just took off that I had never seen before, and it has that flow regulator. Of course, as soon as I saw it, I didn't know what it was called, but I saw what it was doing. I kind of thought there might be something like that in there. I would have called it a restrictor. But, so that's in this here. This is in this shower head too. So, I'm glad I saw that. Yeah, if I take my shower and it doesn't, yeah, I remember that now in one of the reviews, guy said I took that out. And I think he even, I don't know if he showed I think he showed a picture of it. And I just forgot all about it. So that's in the top. That means I'd have to take that thing all the way off of there again, but that's not hard to do. Yeah, if it's not enough pressure, then it may be fine. I mean, I don't think 2.5, I forgot what they call it. Oh, they said no more than 80 PSI. 80 PSI sounds like plenty. If it allows up to 80 PSI, then that ought to be plenty, really. That's what they said. If you take an air blower with 80 PSI, and yeah, there it is, 2.5 gallons a minute, so 80 PSI water pressure, that's high for water pressure. I don't know if we ever get that much water pressure, period. So it may not be any consequence to take that out for me. Only thing it would do, actually, if you took it out and you allow more volume, then you're actually going to get less pressure at the head of the, more volume to go through there. Then you'll get less pressure at the head of the shower, because what happens with a water hose when you stick your finger on it? You get less water coming out, but more pressure, and you can, or if you put one of those squeeze triggers on there, same principle. So, yeah, I won't take it out unless I really feel like I need to. I really don't want to keep fiddling with it. I like to get things together right and leave them. But if you mess up, I want to fix them, For instance, that right there. I need to turn that around. I've got that hose the opposite. I guess obviously they'll go either way. But yeah, right there where the arrow goes to the slot, I thought they could not. I just thought they couldn't have done that on purpose where it wouldn't even fit in there. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me that I could. I mean, it's really obvious when you just step back and look at it that the tapered one goes in there and that the nut goes around the other way. The one with the nut on it, the one with the hex nut on it. So, but I did have it the other way on the other one and on my old one, and it works perfect. And it works perfect since I put that hanger, the old hanger on this new faucet socket diverter, works perfect like that too. But I want to, I'd rather have the new piece on there than the old piece. And I remember working on it, and I don't know. I remember it took me forever to get enough out of there for it to sit in there. Surely I didn't make the same mistakes last time. And I think I did it on purpose. It's very vague in my mind, but I think I did that on purpose because of something I had decided. Oh, I don't have anything showing now. I think I did it on purpose because I had decided. Let's just go over here now. About it all. I can't remember. But yeah, I thought I'd make a short video, and now I'm so tired I'm lost track of everything. I don't know how long I'm talking or anything. Yeah, but I'm not going to do it now because what I wanted, it's time for me to get in my bath and get in bed. I've already had my supper. And, I still have to I need to get those parts out of that stuff because it can't, and I don't want it staying, overnight or anything. I don't know how, now that I'm looking at the clock, I know okay, let's put it this way. The sun comes up around 7:30 these days, so it's 9:04 now, so, and I put it in there at least, I'm going to say at least 30 minutes, if not more, before the sun came up, so. Yeah, it's been about 2.5 hours, I'm going to say. But that stuff's been soaking. So it's either going to get clean. It may be real clean. It may not have none of that fake chrome left on it. I don't think it'll take it off. But because the CLR is just the chemicals that dissolves, It makes rust come loose. And it's real good at making calcium deposits come off. I mean, those things are... If you try to get anything with a lot of calcium deposits on it, try to scrape it. If you start scraping at it, you will scrape the finish, whatever it is, right off of it. If it's stainless, you'll scratch the crap out of that. If it's got that fake chrome on it, you'll scratch that fake chrome plumb off of there. I mean, it sticks. So that's pretty cool. You find the right chemical, and it'll do wonders. And if it's the right stuff. I mean, if you were a chemist, you can figure that stuff out on your own, but otherwise you just got to kind of find products. But anyway, the right products can do the job for you without little soaking, a little time, and without and not damaging them. Of course, you do need to don't want to overdo it. Some things, if you leave them really long, like generally cleaners and naphtha or what am I trying to say? What's that one thing I've been using? Acetone. That's a good cleaner. You can use it as paint thinner, but acetone will eat through stuff, and it's really bad on your hands. And this stuff is really bad on your hands. I had gloves on, but it was splashing, and I didn't know it until it started burning. But I got a dot that must have just sat right there for a while. And of course, I was not sticking my arms under the water. Normally, if I don't wear gloves, I would keep rinsing, but I didn't want water to go down in my gloves, so I was trying to keep from getting water on my arms. Well, then my arms started burning, and I was like, holy crap, I've splashed. And I noticed I splashed a couple of times. I was using the little brush and all that stuff. Probably did like that, and the toothbrush slung it up on my arm. And yeah, it's a burnt spot. And it was pretty sore for a while there. Oh, let's see. I didn't ever look at it up close. Wait a minute. It looks more like a... Well, now I'm wondering if it's what I thought it was. I don't see why. It's a little blister of a thing. Let's get over here and... see if we can see it on the endoscope. Trying to get my... Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it real good. You could a minute ago. Yeah, that's actually a little blister of a thing. Now, it's either could be a bite, or it could be, I don't know. I mean, get stuff like that once in a while, and Actually don't quite know why I've got it, but yeah, that looks like something that needs to be cleaned up, gotten rid of. So let me get off of here, and I might use the endoscope, but I won't go ahead. I won't put it in the video any more than just that right there. All right, I'm gonna go and clean up my parts, and I'll have my faucet right now. It's really putting out the water, but it may be it actually doesn't have a lot of the faucet, the kitchen faucet, doesn't have a really tight stream. Now it's kind of spread out, but a lot of volume of water coming out. So what I'm planning on doing is putting that adjustable one on there that'll go like that, because Mom always loved that thing. But it's also, when I put it on there for just a short time just to see if it was still, if it would be any better, and it was moving too easy. So I don't know. It may be. I don't know if it doesn't seem like it'd be wore out. It didn't run that way when I took it off there that I remember. Anyway, if I get it all cleaned up and everything, and it did have it's quite a bit of calcium deposits on it and stuff. I'll get it all cleaned up tomorrow. I'll clean it up now. I'll, rinse it and everything. And anyway, one way or the other, I'll have a better faucet just by getting rid of that extra restriction in there. Definitely, I don't want that restrictor back in there, or pressure regulator, whatever they called it. All right, I'm going to go now. Bye-bye.